are decentralized and owned by independent node operators. And they transcode your video in real time and then serve it to you. And in exchange, you pay some live peer tokens. So that was awesome. However, that wasn't really fulfilling our ultimate goal, which was to use the internet computer. So we revamped it. I spent a lot of time messing around and just kind of experimenting with the idea of live streaming directly onto the blockchain for the first time ever. So after a couple of weeks of pulling my hair out and experiments and failures and all of that great stuff, the whole learning process, I was able to live stream directly onto the blockchain. So if anyone was wondering, it's completely possible. If you want to do it, you can do it right now. You could literally start your OBS, send it to a FFmpeg instance on your computer, and you can upload it directly to a canister. Like, it works now. We decided, however, to kind of shift gears, and instead of doing that, we wanted to do video on demand. It seemed like lower hanging fruit. We all are a little bit more passionate about film and indie film and just film in general. So kind of as a team, we decided to shift towards video on demand. I encourage anybody though to pick up the live streaming and run with it. I think it would be awesome. It would be really exciting to see. However, Portal, we have developed the infrastructure to support video on demand. That's what we're focusing on now. With that comes audio. We can do podcasts and all of that. And that's what I'm going to show you guys today, is that pipeline and that process. So that's a little bit about a backstory. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
In theory, we could be streaming today's workshop about Portal in Portal.
Yeah, absolutely. If and I just want to clarify, we're not doing live streaming anymore. However, if somebody else wanted to pick it up and do a project that enables live streaming, absolutely, we could be live streaming this onto the internet computer blockchain right now, and everybody could be watching it. Totally a possibility, and it's high quality. It's the same quality you would get with YouTube and Twitch. So
our next talk will be live streamed on their computer. Let's make that promise.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely want to put these VODs, these recordings up on a channel as well, and turn them into NFTs. So you guys can probably look forward to seeing that in the next month or two. So, all right. So that's in a nutshell what Portal is. We are video on demand infrastructure, which includes every aspect, including all the way from uploading your video, which transcodes it, cuts it up into the right size, because as we all know, there's a 2 megabyte limit for data chunks on the IC. So it deals with that. It has a solution to that. And then it also deals with the size limits. So not the 2 megabyte per message size limit, but the 4 gigabyte per canister size limit. So the way we do that is that we have a system that shards the upload across multiple canisters and creates a playlist that points to all of the locations. It's really perfect, and it means that, like I said, there's really no size constraint. You can upload like a 90 gigabyte video if you wanted, as long as you have enough storage canisters set up to receive that. So, and I'll walk through that process here in a second. Okay, so the main question now is, why do we need this? Why do we need Portal? Why do we need video on the IC? Can't we just use YouTube, Netflix? And the answer The answer that we've actually come up with after talking to a bunch of film producers and indie film distribution companies to kind of really get to the root of the problem. And it seems like universally the problem is that one, it's too centralized. So if you're a film producer, then you have very limited options. You can put it on YouTube, where automatically you receive 50% of the ad revenue. So you're basically not being compensated fairly. You can put it on Amazon Prime, which is kind of the go-to for all of these smaller companies because it's it's easier to get onto than Netflix. But then it's once again you're earning pennies per view. It's a really bad gig.
And in both cases, it's the platforms that own the content that you upload, right?
I believe for YouTube, yeah. Like officially you own the content, but they own the revenue stream basically. And they own the right to show it globally and all of that. So you definitely give up some of your rights, which is a good point. All right. So I just want to show a slide real quick. And I know people are not a huge fan of slides. I myself am not a huge fan of slides. So I'll just show a couple.
I think if you mix it in with nice live video and coding and this, it's okay.
Not too bad. Yeah, I think so.
People like nice
visualizations. Just gotta break it up. Can't have an hour of slides.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so here we go. We have 3 problems. And once again, this is what we've come up with after talking with a bunch of these film projects and asking them what they would change, what they would like as a solution, kind of getting their opinion. And problem 1 is that finding funding for.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you put it on full screen? You can enjoy your slides to the fullest. Perfect.
There we
awesome.
Go. Yeah, Thank you. Okay, so 3 problems. Finding funding for a new video project is hard. Absolutely. This is a huge issue right now. And this is why we see such a small subsection of genres and films being produced. We see Hollywood, which is just such a small, narrow slice. You have all of your big blockbuster movies and your Marvel movies and everything that just basically have a formula for making money, which is great. I love Marvel movies. But there's so much more out there. And the issue is that these creative projects are out there, but they don't have the vehicle to find funding, and they don't know where to look. So that's very limiting, and that's one of the main factors why we are working on this project. Number 2, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, distribution is difficult. And it's especially the case because, like I said, there's only a few centralized solutions to this right now. And if you go with any other solution, maybe like a smaller streaming service, one, they're all built on AWS. So they use the same underlying infrastructure in the first place, except that they don't get the same deal. So now you're paying more you're basically at a disadvantage. So you're basically forced into using, like I said earlier, these big companies like Amazon Prime. So that is another thing that we are attempting to solve with this platform. Okay, number 3, managing video rights. And you mentioned this earlier, Andrew. Managing video content rights is hard, such as IP management, distribution agreements, royalties, and reporting. This is awesome for us because that's exactly what the blockchain is for. So we have a perfect solution for this with Portal. We actually handle all of these issues. We do have thanks to NFT and ERC20 type token standards, we do have a solution for IP management. Distribution agreements, thanks to the internet computer, we have the ability to control access by using these NFTs and making sure that we're only distributing content to the people who have actually enabled access to that content. Royalty payments, once again, the blockchain is amazing. Thank you, Internet Computer. We can do these amazing microtransactions, which means that royalty payments happen as the content is paid for and consumed. Traditionally, royalty payments are a huge pain point. Sometimes it takes like 6 months to get your royalty payments, if you even get your royalty payments. They're all handled by different centralized services all over the place, and they don't communicate, and they don't have communication between them. So it's just a huge, crazy issue.
First question from the audience, if I can interrupt. So are Portal or Dfinity looking for hackathon projects that build on top of Portal? Can you connect the presentation to Supernova? And let me answer the Dfinity side, and you can answer the Portal side afterwards. So with Supernova, we're looking for projects that are built on the Internet Computer. And if, let's say, you are building an extension to Portal, I'm not sure if you guys are open source, because then if you're not, it's a bit difficult. But if you are building a component that can be used inside of Portal, that's fine. That would be perfect. So let's say you think of a better way of creating a video editor. The front end is smoother, or you can do it 2-speed, something like that, then that part is good. But if you meant as a video project, then that's not using the computer's technical side as if you developed something would. Can you chime in?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. So we do kind of have a solution for that. The main grant that we've gotten from Dfinity has been to create this way to upload the video data and audio data onto the Internet Computer blockchain. So on our end, that's not part of the hackathon or anything. That's just, like I said, an ongoing grant project that we're working on. And we are open sourcing that. So we're looking to work with projects, and of course, eventually the idea is that this is open to the public. Anybody can use this. It's just an open protocol. However, for now, because of legal issues and like copyright and sensitive content, we can't just open it up to user-generated content. We all know what would happen then. So instead, what we're doing is, if you want to build a project for the hackathon and you want to use Portal to upload your video and to store your video, then yeah, reach out to me. I would love to get you set up with an account so that you can do that. Is that good, Andrew?
Sounds good to me. Maybe the person asking the question can refine the question later if we didn't answer it properly.
Great. Yeah. So reach out to me on Discord if you want to upload video to the IC, basically. Okay, so all right, go back. 3 problems. Okay, and then last one. Streaming directly to worldwide audiences is hard. Absolutely. Without a Web2 distribution deal. So distribution deals are very expensive for these film projects. Like I said, Amazon Prime gives you pennies on your content. If you want to create your own streaming solution, then you're going to be paying for storage costs to host your content. You're going to be paying CDN costs, which actually is the most expensive part. And if you break down the costs of streaming on AWS infrastructure versus streaming from the Internet Computer, you're going to be paying about 95% more to use AWS. That's probably going to be news to everybody, because everybody assumes that, well, it's the blockchain, you could never store a video on there. That's completely wrong. The Internet Computer is really great because of the way that it works, how storage cost is so cheap and transaction fees are so low. So you actually can store and serve all of your content from the blockchain. And like I said, it's 95% cheaper. And at the moment, this is going to change, of course, in the future. You get the most expensive part for free, which is the content delivery, the CDN. So right now, Internet Computer is not paying for you to serve your content, which means like right now it's dirt cheap. Like if you have a video project and you want a huge advantage over anybody else, put all your video on the IC. Okay. So we have more slides, but I won't bore you with more slides. That's it for now. Oh yeah, I will show one more thing, but I'll come back to that. Okay, for now though, I want to kind of go through a use case and how you could use this this portal technology or setting up this streaming service for yourself, or if you're a video creator or if you're a developer looking to enable that. So for that, I will go to our hackathon entry. This is what we're submitting for the hackathon. It is
in the sneak peek. Nice.
Yeah, sneak peek. This is kind of like an early release. It's not ready. Obviously it's not production ready. It's used at your own risk, but it works for now. So it's cool to check it out. If you guys want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. It's deployed on mainnet. Okay, so I'll just walk through it quickly. This is our channel. We call this a creator channel. And this is similar to what you would have on YouTube, where you just have your channel. You have your about page that walks your users through kind of what you do, what your specialty is, what your genre is, all of that. We have our content section, which is your videos, it's basically your marketplace. So it will hold your royalty tokens for your channel. It will hold your NFTs that you're selling. It will hold your rental and your purchase licenses. It can hold NFTs for things like redeem for a t-shirt. You could do like swag or something like that. Really, it's an NFT marketplace. It's up to you what you put on there. But the cool feature is that it is fully interoperable with high quality videos. So these are not just your standard JPEG NFT. These are like Netflix quality videos. So,
what is the size usually for a 1 minute video?
So like the size as in gigabytes and stuff?
Yes, which is probably megabytes or hundreds of megabytes. Do you have gigabytes, like videos as large as a few gigabytes?
Yeah, so if you upload a film, like a 90-minute film, on average, it's about 5 gigabytes, which is amazing because that means that uploading 230 videos would double the current state of the IC. Okay, so 230 videos is not a lot. Like that's a few projects uploading their back catalog. One that doubles the state on the IC, which is huge increase. Like that will increase the value of IC, and that will basically demonstrate how powerful it is. So awesome. If you guys have video, please upload it. Number two, as I mentioned before, is the price is cheap. Like the cost is cheap. So one, you're helping out the IC. Two, you're saving money yourself. Three, you're creating a video platform on the blockchain. No, it hasn't been done yet. It's not possible on any other blockchain. So, yeah. So, like I said earlier, there's no size limit. You can do whatever you want. These are short 10-minute videos. These are all on the blockchain, like I said, and you have your different options here for licenses. You can rent and you can buy. There's like endless amounts of options. This is a 2-hour rental. You can do 8-hour rentals, 24-hour rentals, 2-year rentals, whatever you want. These are just token contracts. These are actually DIP 20 and DIP 721 token contracts. So it's like totally open to you, however you want to manage it. What you're selling here are just tokens. It's just a token marketplace. Okay, so The community, it has like a little Twitter space here. And I'll come back when I walk through the use case of how you would use that. Right now, it's just like a little hello world sample blurb just to demonstrate the capabilities. And then last but not least, royalty tokens. So this channel is tokenized. So all revenue that's generated is dispersed according to this DIP20 token canister. So you can see here that the channel owns 94% of the tokens right now. So any transaction that occurs, 94% of that is automatically credited towards the channel. Cool. So you as a creator now have a way to raise money for your projects. 5% is owned by me, and then 1% is owned by somebody else. Anybody can buy these tokens. These tokens are right here on royalty shares. You can see I own 5, they're 1 ICP. As soon as you buy it, you'll start receiving any revenue generated. I'll show you that in a second. So that's kind of the quick breakdown.
So I can buy one of these video NFTs, and as the video itself starts generating revenue from ads or however else, or people renting it from me and anyone else who owns it, then I start getting a portion of this revenue that this video is generating, depending on how many people own the NFT.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even cooler, see, that's one level of it. That's the NFT level, and that's royalties on the actual base IP. So what we also have, though, is we have royalties on the creator space. So the creator space you can think of as its own wallet. So the creator space owns the base IP by default of all of these videos. Now you can buy the base IP from the creator space, in which case you now get all of the revenue generated. However, as it is now, all of the base IP is held by the channel, and 100% of the revenue generated from rental, purchase, anything like that goes directly to the channel and is distributed amongst the royalty holders. So
I can basically invest in my favorite channels.
Yes.
Get a portion of their,
yeah. That's where it starts to get really crazy. Okay, so that's like next level, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Is that these are investment vehicles now, and what you'll start seeing is that this is like super basic, but what's going to happen is these royalty tokens, like I said, are DIP20. These are going to be available on swaps. They're going to be available to purchase, purchase, trade, everything. They're ERC20 type tokens. What's going to happen is we're going to have investors, and we'll have graphs here probably hooked up to Sonic that show like, the last 24-hour, the current price, last 24-hour movement, volume, liquidity, everything. Like this will be
of the NFTs,
of the royalty tokens.
Oh, which are fungible.
Which are fungible. Yeah, the royalty tokens are fungible. The rental tokens are fungible, and the purchase tokens are fungible. The only things that are not fungible are the base IP rights, which entitles the holder to 1, ownership of the video content, and 2, receiving all of the royalty generated from selling those fungible tokens.
Got it. And both of these, just so now we're diving in, so both of these have a fixed market, a fixed supply. So let's say if I have one NFT video, I can sell it to a defined number of people.
Right. You can sell the one NFT to one person right now. However, that NFT itself owns a registry of tokens, or you can basically sell tokens against that one NFT. So this one NFT, for instance, has these 2 DIP20 token contracts generating revenue against it. This spring rental 2 hours is a DIP20 token that anytime is sold generates revenue for that base NFT. This spring purchase token is also pointed to that NFT, and anytime that is purchased will also generate revenue towards that same video NFT. And like I said, you can create like however many of these you want. You can do the different hours, you can do purchase, you can do a special edition, like totally up to you.
This is incredible. It's really smart that you're both using fungible and non-fungible tokens, and it's both in a way that it makes sense to be used. It's
Right. I can't take credit for this. I'm not that smart. But however, we based it on, and a lot of people have probably already heard about this, but Ocean Protocol. And Ocean Protocol isn't doing this specifically for video. They're doing what is called data NFTs. But they have the same idea. They have the base IP being represented as an ERC-721 type token, and then they're generating revenue against it using these ERC-20 type fungible tokens. So same idea. Originally, my plan, and I actually implemented it that way and then ended up changing it because I was afraid of scalability. The original plan was just to do all ERC-721 type tokens. And then you buy, instead of buying the tokens against it, you would just buy, for example, you would buy Spring, and then you would mint another Spring, and then you would just mint another Spring. But the problem is, in that use case, they're actually fungible. There's no difference between those copies of Spring except for the mint number. So
exactly.
If you're doing like a special edition or collector's edition or something like that, where mint number matters, then yeah, you do have the freedom with the system now to create 5 versions of this base IP NFT if you wanted, and then don't attach ERC-20 type tokens to it.
Yeah, you could create a black and white version, or you can have the director's cut or the director's editorial comments and things like this. And then it's kind of the same, but it shows different content.
Yeah, exactly. And that'll offer something for your more committed community members who really want to support you and collect everything you produce. So yeah, okay. So then for a use case, and this will get back to the investment part, which is pretty cool. For a use case, you could think about this as, we've been talking about indie film projects. So for example, say I'm an indie film project and I have this great idea for a film that I want to release. So step one, I build my creator space, I build my channel. I put my own logo up here. I do my own color scheme, totally white label it. It's converted to my design, my CSS and everything. So I get that, do my logo, change my name, and then write a description. Like I said, just totally customize it for your own use case. And then the next step is, I don't have any money. Like, I need funding. Hiring Keanu Reeves is really expensive. I want him in my video, but I don't have that much money. So step one is fundraising. So to do that, I create some tokens. I create some royalty share tokens, and then I write a post. I drop a post and I say, okay, look, community, here's the deal. I have this project, check out the about section. The about section talks about the storyline, maybe has some links to the script, all of that stuff. Talks about the cast that I want to hire, outlines the director I want, everything like that. And then I come here and I start engaging with my community. I say, hey guys, good news, we've started our channel. We're offering these revenue tokens right now for 1 ICP each, like lowest it's ever going to be. This is a still, buy them now. Okay, so people start piling in. We start generating revenue, and then we're able to hire Keanu Reeves. Awesome, cool. Okay, so then we drop another update, like, hey guys, huge update. We just hired some awesome stars. We got the director we want. Everything's going well. We've bumped up our revenue, our royalty token. It's now this much, blah, blah, blah. Of course, it adjusts. And maybe even that's hooked up to Sonic as well. And that's actually, that's a market maker, automatic market maker. So that actually increases by itself. People see that I hired Keanu Reeves and the price jumps up, like, well, holy cow, this film's going to be a success. Boom,
And
increase
people are putting money into the liquidity pools of these tokens, and yeah, it really builds up layer after layer.
Right. And that's where you can come in as either like a angel investor or just really film savvy or film knowledgeable person. I mean, you don't have to be to know that if it has Keanu Reeves, it's going to be successful. But say, for example, it's a smaller indie film. It has a star that nobody's heard of, except maybe you're like an expert and you know, like this guy's got talent. Like I've seen the 2 movies he's been in, like he's an up and coming star. I'm going to buy a bunch of tokens. Boom, you buy them low, you know they're going to be worth more later. Okay, so you like hype it up, you drop all these updates, you engage with your community, you increase the value, and now you have all of your funds. So by this point, there's a bunch of royalty token holders. Everyone's looking into this. They're watching the coin price go up and down. They're kind of speculating. And now the distributors come in, and these are more people who love the idea of making money and working with film, which is a lot of us. So they come in and they're like, wow, this film looks great. I see it has a lot of traction. I see the token price is stable. I believe in the directors. The guy who's putting it on looks really like he looks legit, no history of rug pulls or anything like that. I'm going to do this. So he buys 20% of the royalty tokens. And then he goes and he has, of course, 1 million viewers, 1 million followers on Twitter. So he goes and drops a link to the video on Twitter. Boom, 1 million people come over, they pile onto it. All of a sudden, there's a huge spike in revenue. Token price jumps up again, and he just made like who knows how much. His say it was $1 per revenue share before, he just boosted it like crazy, and now his 20% is worth like 10 times as much. He just made 10 times on his investment because he has a follow. So then now you're getting into where sharing is incentivized. So you're going to get these influencers who obviously have the ability to pump the market. Think like Elon Musk, just mentioning something and it pumps. Well, now you have this ability to do this with film projects. If you have a huge following, you can purchase stock in it, you can pump it, and then you now have made a bunch of money. So that's another aspect of it. There's a lot of aspects, so I'm sorry if I forget any.
That's gonna be fun. Like all the rug pulls and Ponzi schemes that we can see. Joking, of course. I mean,
half joking.
Yeah, the incentive structures have to be aligned properly so that we can avoid the actual rug pulls. Because if there is a possibility of a rug pull, then people will try it. So it's
no, absolutely. People will try anything, and we've already started thinking about that. And there's measures that we can take. For example, a good idea is that whenever the creator creates the channel, those tokens don't go to the channel; they are deposited straight into a pool on Sonic where they're held. So. And then there may be a vesting where you can't withdraw your tokens after, until like 3 years. So no rug pull. You're locked in, you're committed.
You can also have something like Mod Club's moderator system, tie it in a little bit to have, it's a kind of a different kind of moderation, but you can have people saying that, okay, this was a proper project and it's a real film that was made, and put there, okay. And it's also in a decentralized way. People are saying, this is a proper film, and the funds can go to the person who created it. So
yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that, and that's a good idea. And I think that I don't know for sure, but I think that we'll start to see a lot of projects spring up around it, such as that projects that kind of vet the legitimacy of this. Is this going to be a rug pull? What's this history like? All of that. But then again, coming back to the investor side, I believe that we'll start to see, and this is actually something on the roadmap, is these investors who have a history So we talked about maybe the guy who was into indie films and he just has a good eye for it. And he, all of a sudden, you can go and see click on his profile and you can see like, wow, he's invested in 30 different projects in the last year. And his year over year revenue or return is up like 1,000%. Like, this guy knows how to pick it. I'm going to join his syndicate, or I will put money into his pool, he'll make money for me, or even as simple as I will just follow his activity and buy what he buys. Something like that. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. I see you thinking.
No, that is a really cool idea to have. It's not that it gives me a similar vibe to the liquid democracy in the NNS, where you're following neurons. And in this case, you would be following the portfolio of an investor who has a reputation of picking out good movie investments or good videos.
Exactly. And it fits so well with the IC and the model that we're using, because that investor is really just a wallet canister. That's a wallet canister that holds all of those royalty tokens that he's invested in. And then that wallet is in return tokenized for royalties. And then people just buy those royalty tokens directly from that investor. So it's so simple.
This is almost impossible to do not on the blockchain in Web2.
Absolutely.
You would have to build so much infrastructure just to have these transactions properly managed. And it is, yeah. On the
blockchain, if you could even line it up. And it's so simple here. It just comes by default. And like I said earlier, these transactions are pretty much real time. Like somebody rents a video for 50 cents and then 20 seconds later, I get 2 cents in my wallet. Like, that's awesome. That would never happen. You can't do that on traditional Web2 infrastructure because credit transactions cost more than that in the first place. It's just not feasible. So
when are you replacing Netflix?
Okay, that's a good question. So our first milestone is actually in replacing Netflix is a little ambitious, but our first goal is actually 1% of Netflix. Netflix has about 100 million users, so that would mean that we would need a 1 million users, which we've done the math. That seems like a better place to start, because of course, the internet computer is still in beta. It's not even fully released yet. But because of the early stage that we're in, we would not be able to support Netflix traffic right now anyway. To support Netflix traffic, we would need 3,100 boundary nodes, and we have, I think, 13 right now. So in addition, we would need, I believe it's over 1,000 of our transcoding nodes that we're running. So we're not ready there yet. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have the infrastructure ready. But we can, of course, ramp up between now and then and meet there probably in 6 months. We could be there in 6 months. So.
And also with exponential growth, the 2,100 from the 13 is only a few doublings away. So hopefully in a few years, we'll have the capacity and then we can see how the traction goes with the users.
Absolutely, and that will go really fast. The boundary nodes, they've already planned 300 by the end of the year, and then they're working right now on the system. You guys are, I mean, Dfinity is working on the system to make deploying your own node seamless, so anybody can do it. And as soon as they release that update, then it'll just be an explosion. Once anybody can run a boundary node, everybody will run one. Like, problem solved. That's going to be incredible.
If I'm not mistaken, that's actually already live. So people could just go ahead and do it. Of course, now it's as the first folks are starting to run their own nodes. It's more complicated, and there's a little bit of hand holding from Dfinity. But I think you can already do it if you know how to do it.
Nice. Yeah. So see, that'll, like I said, that'll be solved 6 months at the latest. That's not really something that's going to be blocking us, in my opinion. Yeah, so that is the goal. 1% of Netflix traffic by the end of the year. That will double the amount of data being stored on the IC, and that will double the amount of cycles being burned
By the
per
end of the
second.
year?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's too ambitious. That's a million users is a lot.
Let's aim for it. Yeah.
Maybe not by ourselves, but I think if everybody, if not everybody, but if we get some real traction and people start deploying these creator spaces and we see maybe like half a dozen successful spaces that earn people money, I think it will explode. This is just basically its own like self-propelling economy. Um,
Yes. What we need is a couple of really creative and good quality video content creators who will have, and not just the ones who put out something maybe once a year, like the big scale movies, but also some folks who are creating something interesting every week, every second week. And once we start getting those, then it's yeah, it can take over super
Yeah,
fast.
yeah, exactly. And we are working with several projects already that have really high quality stuff. And we kind of hope that that will kind of jumpstart everything. We can release those, we can showcase like, look, this is high quality. These are like serious film people who have very high standards, and they have successfully launched this on Portal. They have made this much, like it's a success. Oh yeah, and that's the other slide I was going to show. You guys probably have seen this, but
Are
in
you
case
also
you
looking?
have,
Sorry, go.
I was just going to say, okay, so currently, for YouTube here, $2.47 average per channel. Um, that's ridiculous. That's so low. That's not even worth it.
Per year or per video?
What is
What's the
this?
metric?
Revenue per source. I believe this is per year.
Okay.
So $2.47. And then I want to show you this channel that I created the other day. It's already generated 6 ICP. So already this is more successful than most of the YouTube channels out there. And I'm the only one who's bought anything. So, but that just goes to illustrate how powerful it is that you have all of the control. You have the keys to the marketplace. You can't really do this on any other platform right now. Just offering something for someone to buy and then having your loyal fans come and buy it directly from you. Like it's not as easy as that currently. So
Are you also looking for YouTube creators like MKBHD who are creating MKBHD is creating tech review videos, and he puts out something like 2-3 a week. So because you've from the language you use, you usually say filmmakers or about movies and directors, but there are these a lot of these YouTube projects who are putting out videos or gaming videos or live streams recorded frequently.
yeah, absolutely. The reason that I say film is because our plan is to first release this to film projects, only because in order to support user generated content, we have to make upgrades such as moderation and screening for content in our transcoding network, because we don't want our independent node operators to be held liable for any content that is put up there. And in order to do that, that's of course more features that we need to implement. So the only reason I say like films for now is just because that's low hanging fruit. Realistically, though, this is for everything. This is for YouTube creators. This is for like short. You could actually do your Instagram on here. You could do just photos. Really, there's no limit. It's a creator space that supports video and audio as NFTs, and encrypts and allows access to those encryption keys through NFTs and monetization. So really, it's up to the developers and creators on how they want to do it. The other use case, actually, it was a podcast too. So instead of films, this could be like a podcast. Same workflow. You're like, hey, I have this podcast. I'm going to sell my weekly episodes, and you can sell like a rental, which is like one time buy it. You're not going to keep it in your wallet because you don't want a million podcasts in your wallet. Or even you can create a subscription. So you create a subscription DIP20 smart contract. And then now you have access to anytime one of these videos is created, it pops up in your wallet. So you get like an automatic 24-hour rental or something every time that the creator releases something like that. So
it now becomes kind of a UX problem, because if you're doing so many different things, you can do videos, you can do podcasts with audio, then you have to make sure that the user flow in uploading and viewing content is as smooth as possible, so people don't get lost in these all these different features. And also you have the Sonic integrated active liquidity pools and tokens and so on. But it's the possibilities that this platform has is incredible. It's just
it's been a blast. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And we, as Portal, we plan to promote a lot of these early projects, like buy royalty tokens. And then in the future, once we have these investor profiles set up in these syndicates, then we plan on, just like you were talking about liquid democracy earlier, we plan on allocating like a certain amount of funds towards these syndicates that have proven to be really successful. So in that way, you can kind of jumpstart new projects. Portal will automatically support you by buying like 15%, 10% of the tokens. It depends on how much they cost. As long as they're recognized by this investor or this mod club, like you said earlier, and recommended. So.
And when I create my custom token to begin with, I should price it such that I think, or I price it to a degree where I think it will cover the costs of the movie and a little bit of profit, or would it be more of as an investor round? So I price it cheap in the beginning, people start to buy them up, and then just the volume of people coming in will increase the price of the tokens, therefore increasing the value of the project, and that would eventually cover the cost of the movie.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying, yeah, I know it's more of a question, but it's really, there's a lot of possibilities. That's one possibility. Somebody also mentioned the possibility of not even selling your royalty shares at first, but just like releasing teasers, releasing a couple, like maybe release your trailer first and offering it for free. And then kind of seeing if you can build your community up first and then release your token. And then already it's going to be more valuable. Now it's like 10 times as much as if you would have released it at first. So it depends. I think that we're going to see a lot of creativity when it comes to how you want to do that.
One question comes to mind that is both very obvious and a little inappropriate that we can edit out from the YouTube video we upload. That is, so this begs the question, would adult movies also be included in this slew of different content, or is that something that should deserve a separate platform if it does?
That's a good question. So our stance on that is that we have Portal. Portal will be kind of like a family safe, kind of censored, not censored, but moderated destination. Moderated, yeah. And so we'll have a terms of service. Of course, we want to keep it clean. However, since these are all just smart contracts, this is like reusable. You can deploy one of these sites in like, I think it took a couple hours. So at that point, really, it's up to you as a creator. And then as far as like how it's going to be discovered, that's a whole nother aspect. The way that everything on the IC works with these open standards is that anybody can access these NFTs and these tokens. Like these are open to anybody. Really, the key to having like a specific platform is holding your own registry. So for example, I want to have a sci-fi specific site. So to do that, I create a registry where I only add principal IDs for channels that are specific to science fiction. So then a user comes to my site, and I have that registry that's full of sci-fi films, and then it displays them like all of these different channels that are specific to sci-fi only.
So this means that, maybe I didn't get it correctly in the beginning, each channel would have their own front-end canister, their own designs, and you as portal host the backend and handle the transactions and those things.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not like YouTube where you have one front-end platform that hosts all the videos. It's more many different.
I wish I had like a concrete example, and the answer is yes to both. Like Portal as as a platform, yes, we plan to have, like I said, we're working with 5 or 6 projects now. We plan to have 5 or 6 separate channels that can be discovered on our platform. That will be our front end, our Portal front end, running all of these separate channels. However, anybody else can access those channels. Like, it's all open, it's all on the internet computer. So what you can do is you could create a fan page that only has, for example, this channel right here. Or back to the sci-fi example, you can create your own fan page that has all the links to the sci-fi channels that you want. And then you can change the UI, you can make better UX, like you can add more token stuff. Like, there's so much freedom.
Right. And I guess it will evolve with time as well, and how users use it. But yeah, I see it as more of a hub of different channels, and Portal is the one that holds it together and connects everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Awesome.
If somebody wants to make an adult version, then they can. And then that'll be their own separate canister ID. And then you'll go to that, and it'll be a hub for, Pornhub, all that. So,
and it won't be linked to the central portal unless maybe you add some settings that a user can enable themselves, that you want to also see adult content as well. But yeah, that's
totally a possibility. Yeah, you could filter it like that or something.
All right. We can go 5 minutes more if you have something that you wanted to say and I didn't let you because of my questions, or.
There was a lot. No, that was fine. There was a lot that I was gonna do that I didn't end up doing. No, it's good. I actually didn't code, and I know this is a workshop for developers. And there's, like, as you imagine, there's a lot of code behind the scenes for this. And I wanted to walk through the process of uploading a video with our backend. So maybe I'll just finish off with that, and then that will be it.
If that's okay, we can also schedule an extra workshop, and I don't know, name this as the Portal demo interview, and then the next one would be an actual coding workshop.
Yeah, that could be a cool idea. Definitely.
Okay.
Let's see if there's any interest for that, and I would be happy to do that if so.
Because I don't want to rush this in 5 minutes, because I think it's a lot more valuable for.
Okay. That's probably, I don't want to like stress out, and with coding, something always happens too. So that's probably a safer bet.
All right, let's do that.
A little teaser. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So this has been incredibly fun and inspiring, and the possibilities, as you said, are endless. So I'd like to thank Jesse for this eye-opening presentation, as well as our participants. We have one last question. If someone wants to have the link to this portal, I'm not sure if it's public yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Please check it out. Please check it out. Buy some video tokens and mess around with it. And give me some feedback. There might be bugs. If there's bugs, please let me know and I'll fix them. And where do I drop this?
You can put it in the chat here.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Perfect.
Cool.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening. Thanks again, Jesse, for the presentation. And yeah, I guess we'll talk soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye.